Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Simply Math. So, I'm here to make math just a little bit simpler in your life. So, I thought what better way to start off than by going over the internet's most complicated math problems. So, let's get started. So, our first problem here 6 divided by 2 times 1 plus 2. Now, as we kind of remember, good old friend PEMDAS comes into play here. So what are we going to do first? That's right, we do our parentheses first. So we're going to come up with 6 divided by 2 times 3. And now, as we notice, the next thing that comes off of our list, we don't have any exponents. So the next thing that comes off is multiplication. So 2 times 3 gives me, that's right, 6. So 6 divided by 6, which means the obvious answer is 1. Except that's not quite the answer. There's been a lot of debate about this one problem here because a lot of scholars are getting 1 and defending their answers. However, I'm here to show you a little trick on how to fool everybody that's trying to tell you that the answer is 1 on here. So let's restart this. So if we're going to write PEMDAS just a little bit differently here, instead of writing it straight down, we're going to write parentheses, exponents, but then we're going to take multiplication and division next to each other, as well as addition and subtraction. Now, the reason that these are next to each other is because these are what are called inverses of each other, meaning they are opposites. So they basically cancel each other out. Multiplication and division will cancel each other out. So it doesn't necessarily mean that multiplication comes before division. They are on the same level. So let's start this problem over from the top. Once again, we're still going to start with parentheses here up at the top. So we're going to have 6 divided by 2 times 3. Except now, instead of doing our multiplication, because that's what PEMDAS, old school PEMDAS tells us, what we're actually going to do is we're going to read this from left to right like a book. So from left to right, because we have a division and a multiplication all in the same line, we're actually going to start with division first. So we're actually going to do 6 divided by 2, which is 3, times that 3 left over. So 3 times that 3 left over then in fact leads us with 9, which is the correct answer to this problem. So keep in mind, anytime you're multiplying or dividing in the same line, as long as they are in the same line, you will do from left to right, not multiplication only, then division. So, myth number 1 solved. So our next problem here, this one's just more of a riddle. Gets people stumped quite a bit. A bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. So how much is the ball? Now, if you go to any one of your friends and you ask them this question, 9 times out of 10, they're going to answer 10 cents. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. Ball costs 10 cents. Let's take this and let's actually assign some variables to this. We're going to do some algebra inside of this one. So let's say the bat is X, and let's make the ball Y. Well, if we make a system of equations out of this problem, and we say the bat plus the ball cost $1.10. But then I'm saying the bat, which is X, cost $1 more than the ball. We're going to add 1 plus Y. So this is the bat cost $1 more than the ball. So now we're going to do what's called substitution, direct substitution here. So I'm giving X a value, meaning I'm going to take this X value and I'm going to plug it in to my other existing X value. So then this leaves us with 1 plus Y, which is what we had called X earlier, plus Y equals $1.10. Now, doing just a little bit of algebra here, we're going to combine our like terms. We have a Y here and a Y here, so total we have 2 Y's. We still have that plus 1, and this still equals $1.10. So going over some algebra, getting rid of this 1 here, we're adding plus 1, which means we're going to do the reciprocal, and we're going to do minus 1. Sorry, not the reciprocal, the inverse. We're going to do the inverse of that. Subtract 1. So now 2y equals $1.10 minus $1 only leaves me with 10 cents. So if we take a look at this part, 2 balls, because we notice Y is ball here, 2 balls equals 10 cents. So there's no way that our friend's answer of the ball is 10 cents makes any sense now. So we're going to do the inverse of multiplication here. 2 times Y. We're going to do the inverse, which is divide. 10 cents divided by 2 is 5 cents. So there's our answer here. The ball costs 5 cents, which makes sense because if the bat cost $1 more than the ball, then that means the bat cost $1.05. So if I take $1.05 plus my original 5 cents from the ball, that total equals $1.10. So, second one solved. Now, before I move on to the next one, this next one's caused a lot of controversy. Makes people question math altogether in the real world. But once again, I'm here to help you out just a little bit. You borrow $50 from your mom, and then you borrow $50 from your dad. You buy a book costing $97. Now that leaves you with $3 left over. So you go and you pay your mom and your dad back $1 each. So that leaves $1 for yourself. So now, since you borrowed $50 from your mom and $50 from your dad, you paid them back with $1 each. Now you only owe $49 from your mom and $49 from your dad. Well, if I add those two up, that gives me $98. But remember, I had that dollar that I was saving for myself. So if I take those and add them together, I only get $99. But total, I borrowed $100. So what happened to the missing dollar? This has been stumping a lot of people. A lot of people have been raging about this because they don't know what happened to the other dollar. Well, I'm here to tell you what happened to the other dollar. It's quite simple. Okay, so what happened to the other dollar here is, if we take a look at the original problem, okay, the original problem says we gained $50 from our mom, and then we gained $50 from our dad. That means we are a positive $100. Now, like we said, we borrowed $97, which leaves me with gaining $3. Now, this is the way that most people look at this problem. However, we can't look at it like this. We have to look at this a little bit differently. So instead, let's work backwards in this problem. Let's start with the fact that we borrowed $50 from mom, but then we gave her back $1. So how much total did we borrow from mom? We borrowed $49. So now we're up $49 instead of $50. Same thing with dad. We borrowed $49 from dad. So we only owe $98. Okay, we're only up $98. That's how much we have in our pocket because we paid them back $1 each. But then we bought that book costing $97, which means how much did we have left saving for ourselves? We only had $1 left over saved for ourselves. So this is the whole idea behind the riddle. The whole idea behind the riddle is they want you to look at the total amount that you borrowed in the first place and how much you were up in the first place. But we can't look at it like that. We have to look at how much we were borrowing at the end of it all, 49 and 49, and then buying something for $97. And that's where our $1 goes. So that is the most common misconceptions on the internet in math. Guys, life is hard. Let me simplify math. Hey guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to make some more content that's personalized just for you. So if you want to hear some math tips, or if you want to know how to simplify math a little bit more, first off, hit that subscribe button, and then hit in the comments. Let me know what topics you want me to cover, and I'll make sure to get to it. Thanks.